Hey, what's up?
Hey, Alex, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to hop on.
Absolutely, anytime.
Welcome to episode number 40 of the Dugout Report. I am here with Aaron Bracy, recapping a big weekend series sweep against the Rangers. Recapping game one of a great win in Cincinnati against the Reds last night, and looking forward to previewing the next couple of matchups, pitching wise, and everything else. So, welcome.
Thanks so much for having me, Alex.
Yep. So, what were your thoughts on what happened in Texas this past weekend?
Yeah, I just think as everyone else might say, Duran has made all the difference with the Phillies. I think not just to solidify the back end of their bullpen and to give them a reliable closer, but I think he just gave them a kind of spark that the team needed. At the trade deadline, a team is looking for a lift to get them through the second half, to give them a push toward the playoffs. And I think he just energized the entire franchise, the entire city, the fan base. And I think it's no surprise that the results have been successful on the field. It hasn't just been him, obviously. They've been getting big productions from up and down the lineup defensively. Harrison Bader made a great catch the other night. The pitching has been good all year, although Zach Wheeler is not quite been himself the last two starts. Still very good, but not Cy Young Zach Wheeler. But the pitching has been really good all year, and it's just been really all around. And of course, Kyle Schwarber has continued to be Kyle Schwarber. So it's things are looking really good right now for the Phillies, Alex.
What are your thoughts on on how the outfield is looking like?
Yeah, it's they have a lot of them, that's for sure. And I think Harrison Bader gives them a veteran, reliable presence, and if he can get hot with the bat or give them a little bit more of a contribution than they had previously, it'll be an upgrade. I still think that's probably, if you're going to have a weakness on the Phillies, their offensive production from their outfielders is certainly among those. But they just need those guys to pitch in enough offensively and continue to play really good defense, which they've done all year. And I think they're going to be fine. So not a strength of the team, an area certainly to improve. And I think with maybe next year with Justin Crawford coming up, I think he will give them a little bit more offense, although still not the power that they're kind of lacking offensively in the outfield. But definitely an area where they've been playing better of late. And I think the results have been no surprise.
What are your thoughts on Alec Boehm and his rehab assignment with the Iron Pigs?
Yeah, I think the sooner you can get Alec Boehm back, the better. He gives them another power bat in the lineup, another area of protection behind Bryce Harper. And I think he was reluctant, as he said, to go to Lehigh Valley, but I think it's also beneficial just to get some at bats in. So, and also when you have that kind of injury as a batter and a rib injury, I think it makes sense to get some at bats at the minor league level to make sure that everything is okay with the rib, because that's such an important part of the swing, the rib, the oblique. When we see guys who have oblique injuries or rib injuries miss really significant times where maybe in other sports it wouldn't be as crucial or as pivotal of an area of the body. But so just to get some starts under his belt, I think is important. I think Otto Kemp and Edmundo Sosa have been doing admirably filling in for Alec Boehm at third base. But I think bringing Alec Boehm back just strengthens your lineup. It strengthens your starting lineup. And also it sends Sosa or Kemp back to the bench and makes your bench even stronger. Although I have to say Weston Wilson has been playing really well off the bench, and it seems to me he might be the odd guy out when Alec Boehm comes back. But he's been really productive here in the last little stretch.
I know that they came big offensively last night. What were your overall reaction? What was your overall reaction to last night's win?
Honestly, Alex, the most impressive thing to me is is Taiwan Walker. And he had such a poor season last year, was kind of scuttled in and out of the rotation this year. And the thing that has impressed me the most is he has accepted whatever has been asked of him without complaint. It's not often that veterans will be scuttled back and forth to the bullpen, a starting role. He was a long man. They tried him in a high leverage spot in the bullpen, and only to come back to the rotation. And really, it's because whatever players have been injured, and he's just been plugging along. Obviously, he doesn't have the stuff of a Zach Wheeler or a Christopher Sanchez or a Ranger Suarez, but he is a veteran pitcher. He has proven to be able to get guys out. And I think today we're so in love with people and their stuff that sometimes we forget about pitchers and guys who just can get through games and get guys out. And Taiwan Walker has proven that over his career. Yeah, he's going to be hard hit at times because he doesn't throw 98 miles an hour. He doesn't have a lockdown change up like Sanchez, but he's a veteran pitcher. He knows how to pitch. He's got a lot of pride. He is making a lot of money, $72 million over 4 years, $18 million a year. So certainly, not feeling sorry for the fact that he's been scuttled in and out of the rotation, but really just, I think, admirable for a veteran to do whatever is asked of him. And so again, last night, I believe he went 6 strong innings. And basically, I think every start he's made this year, he has given, if not every start, almost every start, certainly he's given the Phillies a chance to win. And that's what you really need in today's modern game from your starter. And so of all the things last night, that was the one that impressed me the most, Alex.
What are your thoughts on Jesus Luzardo and how he's been pitching?
Yeah, he's been a bit of an enigma this year for the Phillies. He looked like one of the best pitchers in the major leagues early in the season. Then he had that rough 2 or 3 game stretch in Toronto and at home. But I think he settled back into who he is. He's a solid veteran pitcher. He knows how to pitch. He knows how to get guys out. I don't think he's as good as he showed early in the season, nor do I think he's as bad as he showed in parts there. I think it was late May, early June. But I think he's given the Phillies another reliable starter who can get 6 innings, and that's what you need today in baseball. And so I think he's done the job that they hoped he would do when they signed him in the offseason.
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling about tonight's pitching matchup with Ranger Suarez on the mound?
Yeah, Ranger hasn't been Ranger of late, so it would be nice to see him get back to who he is, the dominant pitcher that he was for the last couple years. He's been good. He's been very good. But it would be, I think, a positive step for the Phillies to see Ranger get back to who he is. Because if you think about it, they're going to send Wheeler, Sanchez, Suarez to the mound. And I haven't even mentioned Aaron Nola for the first 3 games of the playoffs. You could throw Luzardo in there as well, although I think he would be sort of the odd man out there. But I think you're going to have a hard time finding a top 3 starters to match up with the Phillies in the playoffs with those 3 that I just mentioned. But to get Ranger back to the dominant Ranger, I think is only going to strengthen the Phillies, obviously, as they make the stretch run here.
Mm-hmm. Looking ahead, what are your thoughts on the National Series, which is a pretty interesting pitching matchups for each game?
Yeah, I mean, I think those are games that they have to win. It's at the end of a road trip. Those are sometimes tough games. The end of a long road trip, but I think those are games you would certainly expect the Phillies to win, and they as they head back and return home. It's been an interesting stretch for the Phillies because they've had a lot of interleague games and a really tough stretch of games in many respects, and they're playing some of their best baseball. So my thoughts and expectations of the National Series, without really breaking it down and looking at it closely, is that I would expect the Phillies to win that series.
Uh, how how do you think the rotation will be at third base once Alec Bohm comes back?
Well, I would expect Alec Boehm to get the bulk of the starts. Certainly, if he's healthy and he's swinging the bat well. But I think in Otto Kemp and Edmundo Sosa, you have two reliable options who've proven they can hit at the major league level. If Alec is either struggling at the plate or if he's not healthy, I think that you can plug in Kemp and Sosa and probably not lose much. But I think Boehm has the power that those guys don't have on a consistent basis. And I think it would be Alec Boehm's position, his job to lose. But I think having those guys available is really is a boon for the Phillies and gives them certainly comfort for manager Rob Thompson if Boehm isn't healthy or if he goes into any kind of struggle.
What is your record prediction for the Phillies for the next three series they have?
You know, it's funny. I sort of stopped making predictions. What I found is that when I make predictions, I tend to root, and when I root, it takes some of the fun out of it for me. So I used to, before every Big Five game, I would make a prediction, and then I would find myself sitting there rooting for my prediction rather than just enjoying the game. So I'm going to pass on a specific prediction, but I think they're going to win the series against the Nationals. I think they're going to win the series against the Reds. They come home for a 10-game series. Who do they play in that first series?
Seattle, I think.
Seattle. Okay. So I haven't even gone that far. I just know they come home for I think it's 10 games or so, and we'll have to. How about we just wait and see on that one?
Yeah. Any other things that you are looking closely for in the upcoming games this week?
Yeah, I think I would say, Alex, it's just a great time to be a baseball fan in Philadelphia. To have a team that's in first place, a team that is a contender for the World Series. For me, there's nothing like playoff baseball in Philadelphia. And having grown up with the Phillies, when I was really young, they were really good. And then in my sort of teenage years, outside of 1993, they weren't very good. I did not get to experience playoff baseball. And then when I experienced 1993, it was unbelievable. And then to go that stretch from 2007 to 2012, the 5 straight NL East titles. I was there for the World Series in 2008. I was in the stands with my dad and my son for the first half of Game 1 of Game 5, and then just with my dad for the second half. And just a memory you'll never forget, an incredible feeling. I covered the World Series in 2023, and I've covered thousands of games over the years, various sports, lots of big games, NBA All-Star games, NBA playoffs, NFL playoffs, NHL. But there was just something special about the World Series, and it actually surprised me when I covered it that I even felt that strongly. There was just something special about the World Series, and perhaps it's has much to do with my love of baseball and having grown up loving the game. But it was just a little different, and just experiencing playoff baseball and the Phillies in the World Series. For me, there was nothing like it. And so to be on the precipice of the playoffs with a team that legitimately is a legitimate contender to win the World Series, these are times that, as Philadelphia sports fans, I think you really have to cherish and appreciate, because it doesn't happen every year. And I know the Phillies have been good for a while, but there have been many years where they're the last place team. In fact, I think they're the losingest franchise in baseball history. So there have been many, many years where they've lost more than they've won. So it's just a great time. And rather than really react to your question like series by series, I'm just thinking more big picture, like this stretch run into September, the weather changes, playoff baseball, the weather gets cold. And then each of those playoff games, it goes from like a marathon. Baseball is a 162 game marathon to a sprint where each game really matters, where you look at each game and you break down each game like it's an NFL Sunday. Totally different than now. Like I couldn't even tell you, like you asked me, I didn't even know who they were playing in the first of the homestand. But come playoffs, not only do you know who they're playing, but you know everything about the opposing pitcher, the opposing players, the manager. It's just a wonderful time and just really exciting as a Philadelphia sports fan, as a Philadelphia sports media observer. Just really exciting and really, really great to see the baseball team in town have a chance to win the World Series. Really great.
Mm-hmm. I really love the content that you have on Twitter with everything Big Five Hoops and the Phillies tweets in between, and just keep on doing what you're doing, and I'm loving it.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, it's been great. I love it. Been doing this for a long time. I get excited for every game that I get to cover. I covered that Rangers series that we discussed, and it's just not the Rangers series, the last the Phillies homestand, the Tiger series. But it's just great. I love doing it. The Big Five obviously is kind of sort of my niche right now, and Big Five Hoops is something, it's a passion, and really have enjoyed the book writing process. We talked before on this podcast about A Soaring Season, the St. Joe's book that I wrote, and I'm working now on a book on the 2001 76ers, which I know you're a big 76ers fan because we met up at the game, but you were probably too young to remember that team. But I hope to capture that season and Allen Iverson and one of the greatest teams and players in Philadelphia history, and in some ways how the St. Joe's team captured the city, but in a much larger net with professional basketball. And so really excited. It's been a lot of work so far. I have a lot of work ahead of me, but really excited to work on that. And just really love following Philadelphia sports and talking to you and these kinds of venues and podcasts. And it's just great. Really enjoy it. And it's really a dream come true. It's kind of what I wanted to do when I was growing up, and really being able in some ways to live out my dream has just been a blessing, and really, really grateful for the opportunities that I've had. And it's just been a lot of fun.
Definitely. Thanks for coming on, and I hope to have you back on soon to talk Phillies baseball.
Absolutely, Alex, and keep up the great work. It's great to follow your work. Great talking to you, and get to see you in person, and love your passion for Philadelphia sports and the work that you do. So thank you for having me on, and really enjoyed the time.
Thank you.